Good evening, students. This is the second video of chapter 3, that is the chapter of plant kingdom. And in this video, we'll learn about the bryophytes. In the previous video of this chapter, we learned about algae. Today, we'll learn about bryophytes. Includes various mosses and liverworts that are found commonly in moist shaded areas. So bryophytes are commonly found in shaded areas and the areas where there is moisture. And in the bryophytes, we find mosses and liverworts. We'll study about mosses and liverworts later. In this video only. Can live in soil but are dependent on water for sexual reproduction. Bryophytes can live in soil, but it is very important for the bryophytes to go to the water for sexual reproduction. It is a very important point. They can live in soil but are dependent on water for sexual reproduction. Called amphibians of plant kingdom. Bryophytes are known as amphibians of plant kingdom because they can live both in water and soil. That means they live in soil and they have to go to water for sexual reproduction. So they are known as amphibians of plant kingdom, as amphibians in animal kingdom live in both water and soil. Play an important role in plant succession on bare rocks or soil. Bryophytes, what does they do? They play an important role in plant succession on bare rocks or soil. In some bare rocks or in some clear rocks where nothing is there, the bryophytes are the first to come and grow there. So it plays an important role in plant succession. They are attached to the substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. Bryophytes do not possess roots. There is a specialized structure known as rhizoids in place of roots. These rhizoids are hair-like structures and they help in the attachment of the rhizoids to other substratum. They may possess root-like, leaf-like or stem-like structures. Bryophytes, they do not possess true root or true leaves and true stem. What they possess is root-like, leaf-like or stem-like structures. The main plant body of bryophytes is haploid. The main plant body of bryophytes is of haploid type, that is N type. And this is the sexual life cycle of bryophytes. Go through it. Before that, I will say something about the process of sexual reproduction in the next slide. So bryophytes produce gametes, hence they are known as gametophytes. Bryophytes produce gametes, so they are termed as gametophytes. The male sex organ is known as antheridium. The sex organ present in bryophytes are known as antheridium. This antheridium produces the sex cells or the male sex cells known as antherozoids. Female sex organs present in bryophytes are known as archegonium. They produce a single egg. Let us now come to the process of sexual reproduction. We found that male sex organ is known as antheridium and it produces antherozoids, and female sex organ is known as archegonium and they produce single egg. Now what happens is that antherozoids, that is the male gametes released into water. Antherozoids are released into water. In water, they comes in contact with archegonium. Archegonium means Archegonium means female sex organ, and this female sex organ produces single egg. So in water, enterozoites and single egg fuses. There occurs fusion between this enterozoites and single egg, and the fusion produces zygote. Produce multicellular body called sporophyte, and this zygote produces multicellular body, and that body is called sporophyte. Some cells of sporophytes undergo reduction division, and what happens in sporophyte, from that particular sporophyte some of the cells undergo meiosis, that is reduction division, and the reduction division produces haploid spores. These spores germinate to form gametophyte, and these haploid spores germinate to form gametophyte. Here in this first slide, the sexual life cycle of bryophytes that I have explained just now is given in the form of a figure, in the form of a cycle. You can just see this and have a clear idea of how the sexual reproduction takes place in bryophytes. Let me take the marker. Okay. So sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular. Sex organs means, what are the sex organs in bryophytes? These are the sex organ: antheridium, that is male sex organ, and archegonium, that is the female sex organ. So this antheridium and archegonium are multicellular. That means they are made up of many cells. Okay. The next point is bryophytes show alternation of generation between sporophytes and gametophytes. So in the process of sexual reproduction, we have shown that there are two forms we found. One is gametophyte and one is sporophyte. So there comes a term, it is known as alternation of generation between sporophytes and gametophytes. That means this sporophytes and these gametophytes both alternate with each other to reproduce sexually, and this life cycle is haplodiploidic. This life cycle is haplodiploidic. That means here the sporophytes are diploid, that is 2n, and gametophyte are n. This sporophyte are 2n and this gametophyte are n. So here comes the term haplodiploidic. Haploid and diploid together it forms the term haplodiploidic. So the life cycle of bryophyte is haplodiploidic. Let us see the various uses of these bryophytes. They are used as food for herbaceous mammals, birds and other animals. Herbaceous means those mammals who are dependent on herbs. They are known as herbaceous mammals, birds and animals. These organisms take this bryophyte as their food. As fuel, example sphagnum. This example is very important. Bryophytes used as fuel. This bryophyte, example sphagnum, is used as a fuel. Prevents soil erosion as moss form dense mats on the soil. They prevent, that means bryophyte prevent the soil from erosion, because this bryophytes appears like a mat on the soil and they reduce impact of falling rain, and that mat decreases the impact of rain falling on the soil. And these bryophytes can be divided into two types. They are liverworts and mosses. Let us now come to these two types of bryophytes one by one. The first is liverwort. The plant body of a liverwort is thalloid. We have also found this word thalloid in our previous classes. So thalloid means their body can't be differentiated into, that is, their body cannot be differentiated into leaves, stem and roots. The example of such bryophyte is Mertensia. Okay, the liverworts are the bryophytes whose body is thalloid. That means their body do not possess actual root, actual stem and actual leaves. Okay, asexual reproduction, fragmentation of thalloids. How does the asexual reproduction in liverworts takes place? They takes place by the fragmentation of thalloids. Thalloids are leaf-like structures, and from that very thalloids various fragments arises and they form a new individual. Specialized structure called gamma are developed in the thallus. Specialized structure, the name of the structure is gamma, are developed in the thallus in the bryophytes. And these gamma, these specialized structures that are formed in the thallus are developed in small receptacles. Where they are formed in small receptacles, and the receptacles are known as gamma cups. So gamma cups are the receptacles where, and these gamma cups are present in thallus of the bryophytes, and this gamma cups contains or forms the specialized structures called gamma. These gamma become detached from the parent body and germinate to form new individuals. And the gamma, which are formed in the gamma cups, they get detached from the parent body and they germinate to form new individual, that is new bryophyte. Okay. Let us see this sexual reproduction again. In liverworts, there male and female sex organs are produced either on the same or different thalli. Okay. So the male sex organ and the female sex organ, they may be produced either on the same, they may be present on the same thalli or in different thalli. Okay. The sporophyte is differentiated into food, seta and capsule. This point is very, very important. The sporophyte, we have found a structure known as sporophyte while we have studied the reproduction process, and that sporophyte in bryophyte is differentiated into foot, seta and capsule. Okay. These spores germinate to form free living gametophytes. These spores germinate to form free living gametophytes. Okay. The next type of bryophyte is mosses. The gametophytic stage in mosses consists of two stages. There are two stages in mosses. That is the gametophytic stage. Mosses divided into two stages. The first stage is protonema stage and the second stage is leafy stage. In the protonema stage, this develops directly from a spore. The protonema stage develops directly from a spore. This stage is creeping, green, branched and frequently filamentous. That means the protonema stage, what is the structure and how are they? They are creeping. They are creepers, they are green in color, they are branched and frequently filamentous. That means possess filaments. The second stage is leafy stage. It is attached to the soil through the multicellular and branched rhizoids. And the second stage of mosses is the leafy stage, and this stage remain attached to the soil with the help of rhizoids, which are thin hair-like structure, and this stage becomes the sex organ. Later, this leafy stage becomes the sex organs of the bryophytes, that is the mosses. Let us see how vegetative reproduction occurs by fragmentation and budding in the secondary protonema. In secondary protonema, the vegetative reproduction takes place by fragmentation and the process of budding. Let's come to the last slide. This is the sexual reproduction in mosses. The sex organs Antheridia and Archegonia. This is the male sex organ and this is the female sex organ. The sex organs, antheridia, that is the male sex organ, and archegonia, that is the female sex organ, are produced at the apex of the leafy shoots. They are produced at the top of the leafy shoot. Okay. Sorry. Example of mosses are funaria, polytrichum, and sphagnum. These examples are very important. These are funaria, polytrichum, and sphagnum. So students, this is all about bryophytes. In the next video, we'll study about pteridophytes. Thank you for watching this video.